All right. See these two words here? These two words? Principal and simple interest. Write those down in the vocabulary section of your composition book. We'll talk about what those are during class tomorrow. Principal and simple interest. Make sure you've got those written down in the back of your comp book. If you didn't have enough time, just pause the video, scroll it back, and then you'll have time to write them down. I'm going to move on to the question that we're working today, though. Alright, thanks for accessing the website. Let me get you a little bit better view here of the question. There we go, should be good enough. Alright, the Allen family went out for dinner, and the meal cost $75. The sales tax on the meal is 8.25%, and Brent tells his parents they should leave a 15% tip. What is the total cost of dinner? So you got a lot of information going on in the question, but per usual, what's the problem want from me? What's total cost, right? Okay, so everything that we do needs to be pointed towards finding out what that is. Want to know what total cost is. So let's take our information from our problem. Let's figure out how we can get total cost of the meal. Well, we know that the meal itself, the food, cost them $75. So the meal is one part of your total cost. All right, what else do we know? Well, we know that the sales tax was 8.25%. Yes? That's also a part of the meal, or a part of the total cost, right? All right, then the last thing we know is that Brent tells his mom and his dad that 15% tip. So the last thing we have is our tip. So we have 1, 2, 3 items that we've got to put together to figure out what the total cost of our meal is, total cost of our dinner. Okay, well, we're told what the meal is. The meal cost $75. All right. We're also told that the sales tax was 8.25%. And we're also told that the tip was 15%. Is that what we need to do? We just add all that up? No, that's not what we did. These percents are happening to the 75. So if you want to know what the sales tax is, I've got to find 8.25% of that. Okay? Now how do I find the percent of a number? Well, we've talked about this in class. Percent of a number is found by multiplying the number by the percent. Well, everything in this particular dinner is centered around the $75. So we don't just put 8.25 right here. We need to multiply that. Just like right here with the 15%, we don't need just the 15%. We got to multiply that. So we need 75 times 0.0825. Now, how did 8.25%, how did 8.25% turn into 0.0825? How did this happen? Yes, 2 hops to the left made this go away and turned it into this. Because this empty hop gets a 0. A decimal is now in front of that 0. Right there, yes? Correct? Same thing with the 15%. We have to do the exact same thing. 2 hops to the left turns into 0.15. Right? Okay, so on the tip part, we got to do 75 times 0.15. Alright, now per usual when you're watching my videos, I try not to do the actual multiplication steps. So what I'll do here, it's kind of a little extra for expert. Well, not really extra, I just want to kind of quiz you, truth be told. 0.0825 times 75. Now, if we were in class, I would ask you why we lined it up that way, and then wait for you to answer, but I'll just tell you this. When this happens, I put the one with the most amount of digits on top. Now the numbers that you get when you multiply this are 6, 1, 8, 7, 5. Now if you could tell me where the decimal goes, that'd be awesome. How many numbers are behind my decimal in my question? Does this have a decimal in front of it? No, so I don't count it. These 4 do. There's the decimal, 4 numbers behind the decimal. So the decimal belongs right here in between this 6 and the 1. Now we're dealing with money, aren't we? That's what sales tax is going to end up being. It's going to be a price that we're going to add to the meal. Add to the cost, right? Okay, so the sales tax is going to be what? 6.1875? Or how about 6.19? Because the 7 told the 8 to bump up, right? So what's the sales tax? What's 8.25% of $75? $6.19. Alright, now we've got to do the exact same thing with the 75 and the 15. So, both of them have the exact same amount of digits. They both have 2 digits, so we just kind of stack them on top of each other. And the numbers that you get for that one are 1125. Now, I ask you the same question. Where does the decimal go? Does this one have any decimal on it? When there's no decimal on a number, that means it's behind it. Okay? It means it's a whole number. Alright? So the decimal will be back here. Therefore, there are no numbers behind on this 75. But there is on the 15. There's 2 because of the 1 and the 5. So where is it going to fall on my answer? Well, 1, 2. 1125. So what's the tip? How much tip does Brent want his parents to leave? He wants them to leave an $11.25 tip. Alright, and then to figure the total cost, what are we going to do? We're just going to add it all up. What I want you to do, bring the answer to class.